Hi everyone, I hope you're having a great week. I wanted to talk to you for just a moment about our worship services here in the sanctuary. This past Sunday, we had our first in-person worship service, and it was great to see all the faces of all who came, at least, the top half of the faces. But it was a little weird, too, because it was so different from what we are used to, what we've gotten used to in worshiping online, and what we were used to before COVID-19. It was the first time in almost 8 months that we've worshiped in the sanctuary, and the first time in 7 months that we've had a live worship service. So even though it was so good to be back in worship together, live in this space, it felt a little strange. Now, part of the reason it felt weird was because some of you were not here, and for good reason. If you don't feel safe coming to group gatherings, or if you have felt sick recently, I hope that you will stay home and watch online and engage however you can. But still, it doesn't feel right when you're not here because we are not whole as a gathered community, and we miss you, frankly. It also felt different because of the precautions that we are taking and the protocols that we've put in place to keep everyone safe. And let me just say, I so appreciate everyone following those guidelines to look out not only for our own interests, but for the interests of others, as the Apostle Paul encouraged the Philippians to do, following in the way of Christ. And yet, I also know it felt strange not to go up and hug people, or not being exactly sure of how close we should get to someone. It was strange for those of us leading worship too, wondering which microphone to use or how much we were supposed to walk around and talk with people before the service, 6 feet away and masks on. It just didn't feel natural. It didn't feel natural because that's not who we are. We are a warm and caring congregation. We like to be with each other. We like to be connected to each other and to feel that connection. And in the past, we have expressed that most on Sunday mornings as people greet each other with hugs and handshakes around this space, or by holding each other's babies, by making plans to have lunch together, by standing around talking after the service as our kids run up and down the aisles playing together. So yeah. These precautions that we are taking, while absolutely necessary to keep everyone safe and healthy, they limit how we are able to feel connected and be in community, in person, at least in the ways that we are used to. So while it was great to be able to worship together, it did feel kind of weird. It was different. But let's remember that different is not always bad. Augusta Heights has always been a different kind of church, and maybe a little weird too, at least some of us, in the best of ways. So maybe we should let go of the expectation that our worship is going to feel normal, the way it did before COVID-19. The truth is, it can't be like it was before, but it can still be good and faithful, engaging and inspiring. We can still be the warm, welcoming, connected, caring community we have always been. And we will. But caring for others in this time might look it might look a little different. Like spreading out in the sanctuary, like wearing masks. And we might have to find different ways to be warm and welcoming and to stay connected, even in person, differently than we did before. So a few suggestions for us. First of all, let's be casual. You're used to watching worship in the comfort of your home. So when you come to worship in person, feel free to dress however you are comfortable. If you want to wear jeans or leggings and a sweatshirt, go for it. On the other hand, if you have been dying to put on a suit and get dressed up like my son is, do that. But don't feel like you have to put on airs or stand on ceremony just to show up to worship together. The same goes for our parents and our families. If you feel safe bringing your kids, bring them. Now, they will be in worship with us. And yes, they will fidget. Yes, they will make a little extra noise. But if you want to be here, and if you want your kids to be here, we want them to be here. Crying and giggling and fidgeting and fumbling and fussing and all. And we can and we will still visit and talk to each other. We will have chances to see people we haven't seen in 7 months and to catch up on life. It's just that we will wear masks and stay a few feet apart as we do it. And as your staff and worship leaders, we will continue to create worship experiences that are meaningful and inspiring and give people, both in person and online, ways to engage with their faith and engage with one another. Because we need this connection with God and with each other now more than ever. So I want to invite you to join us for worship on Sunday morning at 10:30, either in person here in this place or live on the church's Facebook page. We'll be continuing our series in Exodus that we're calling Uncharted Territory, and this week we will find God's people at the edge of the sea, seemingly at the end of their rope, wondering where they go from here. So I hope that you will come on Sunday, either here or online, that you will worship with us as we find out where they go and where we go. I hope to see you Sunday, either in person or on a screen, and I hope that you all have a wonderful rest of your week. Take care.